Happy Thursday, family. This is week 2 of me sleeping in my car, working my 3 jobs. Got to make sure I'm saving as much money as possible. So I was willing to make the sacrifice and really just take the time to be with myself. It's September 1st, 2022, 7 o'clock in the morning. Happy Thursday. You know, the last time that I slept in my car for this long, for like 2 weeks and months, uh, it was 2020. And I didn't understand at that time, like, dang, why I gotta be homeless right now? Like, this sucks. But that whole situation just, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. So the fact that I've been renting a car since the beginning of this year, since the beginning of January, it's been depleting my finances because I've basically been working to rent the car. So because I told myself one of my goals was for 2022, I wanted to be completely financially free. So that means I wanted my car paid off that's no longer working, that I can't drive, which is why I've been renting. And I wanted financially free for me means I wanted my car paid off. You know, I wanted that off my credit report. I wanted my credit cards paid off. I only have 2. But, I set that goal and I made sure that whatever I needed to sacrifice, that I can sacrifice. You know, you can't grow from a comfortable place. And I've become comfortable with being uncomfortable, and that sets me up for the win. All 3 of my jobs are in Alpharetta, and I live 40 minutes away from Alpharetta, and them gas prices been, so try to save that money. And then the rental car service that I'm using is awesome. It's an awesome setup. They let you pay from $60 to $80 to $100 a week, depending on what kind of car you have. But they also charge you like 39 cents to 49 cents for the mileage. So for every mile. So like, you think you're paying $60 a week. You think you're paying $80, $100 a week, but then that mileage get added on, and then you got like a $500 bill, and it's like, oh shit. So, but if you don't move the car, and you just sleeping in your car, you're not paying all that mileage. I'm just paying that $80 to $100 a week. I'm just like, shit, I can afford that. I got that. I'm really excited to be doing this because, like I said, I'm going to become financially free rather quickly. My car will be paid off by mid-October. It's September 1st. My credit cards will be paid off within the next 3 weeks. And after that, it's just saving. So come February, March timeframe, I'm going to have a down payment to put on my new car. If I wanted, I could get my own place. Your boy's an actor, a singer, a dancer. I got to pay for my acting classes, my vocal lessons, my dance lessons. I got a lot of stuff in my head that needs to come out as an artist, and I'm just really excited. This is to have everything set up for the rest of the year. Me working my 3 jobs to pay everything off and save and come out winning the top of 2023. Like, all you need is one good year to make it, one good year to change your life, and it's coming up for me. So I'm thoroughly excited. I can't wait to give y'all an update. I'm filming this now, but I'm not going to post it until much later, and I can't wait to let y'all know what's going on. My biggest goal is to inspire you all through my struggles and my experiences, and just give you the real on what I'm going through. If anybody thinks like, oh, Honor's sleeping in his car, I can sleep in my car too, I can make it too, I can save my money too, absolutely you can. My advice to you is to get you an SUV. You can collapse the back seats so you can, have more leg room to stretch out and get like a comfortable sleep and a comfortable nap. It's really a nap. You're not getting like a full 8 hours of sleep in here. You get in a nap, but you learn that you can function off for like 3 to 4 hours. Get you some tinted windows. People like to be nosy, and it's not really their fault. They getting out their car and they might, swipe a side eye and be like, is that somebody sleeping in their car? Yes, mind your fucking business. Yeah. Into my money. I'm literally in the shopping complex, so I'm like steps away from my job right now. They have no idea that I'm outside sleeping in my car. I'm always on time, always punctual. Just getting to my check. Fortunately, Atlanta has become known as the window smashing hotspot. I'm in Alpharetta where the stuck up and snotty people are, so they don't do no window smashing over here. But well, Honor, I live in Alpharetta, or I live 15 minutes away from your jobs. Like, you can always come sleep on my couch. Like, that's not a problem. And where I appreciate that. Right now, I need to be secluded and focused. And like I said before, you cannot grow from a comfortable place. And I enjoy being uncomfortable because that's where I see my results come in. Being able to go home and get a full 8 hours of sleep, or go home and sleep in a comfy ass bed, because it's like, this is hard. Okay. I'm getting naps in here, but if I was in my bed right now, I would be so cozy in my bed that when it's time to wake up, I'm snoozing the hell out of that alarm. When this alarm go off, I'm like, oh. And sometimes I'm waking up before the alarm too. So it's just like, right now it's really for me this is level up time, which requires me to be alone. So I love you much. What's up? Happy Friday. It's September 30th, 2022. It is 9:22 in the Grand Rising. Hope everybody's doing well. So a little update. Still sleeping in the car so far, just doing what I got to do. My 3 jobs have turned into 2 jobs. I got let go from one of the jobs, got fired from one of the jobs because I let them know and I called them out on leaving their store unattended. When I mean they, I mean like the owner operator and the general manager. They tried to leave me in charge of a shift without making sure that I was fully capable of running that shift without them in the store. And they kind of hustled that and pushed that along, because when I first was hired for this job, I wasn't a shift lead. I was a shift lead in a manager in training to make sure I knew how to operate everything. And we hadn't done any training for the first 4 weeks of me being there. So because their weekend was coming up and they wanted to. Coincidentally, both the owner operator and the general manager do not work on the weekends. So they try to hustle me into the shift leader position, and did like all my training paperwork just so they would have on file that they trained me, and they did not. So now given I had worked for the company before, but I had only worked for the company for about a year, and it had been a year since I ever worked with the company. So I needed a refresher. Some things I remembered and other things I didn't. So they wanted me to run the shift and open the store, but I didn't remember. Even when I first worked with the company, I didn't work the grill like that. So they wanted me to open the grill, and I don't know how to turn on the grill. So I'm supposed to be responsible for cooking all this chicken, and y'all don't know that I don't know how to do the grill, but I said this, but you trying to enjoy your weekend. Oh, okay. So I was like, oh, okay. So I started a group chat, and I tagged both the general manager and the owner operator in it, and I tagged HR. And I tagged the regional director of the company, and the operational director of the company, and I got everybody involved. And I sent that text message. I was like, look, so I'm scheduled to open the store tomorrow, and I've never done the grill ever before. A few times, okay? I don't remember how to do it. I wasn't trained on how to do it since I got back working with the company, and I want to make sure that I'm set up for success. I did a whole polite text message. I was just like, I don't want us to have an accident that could have been avoided had we took the proper precautions and had the right things in place. I understand certain parties want to enjoy their weekend, but we need to have somebody in the store come tomorrow. My surprise, HR in any company, they don't care about you. They do not care about you. HR, for anybody who doesn't know, stands for Human Resources. They are there to solely protect the company. So now, given they had to save face and do all the, emails, and we're sorry that this is happening and going on, we're going to send somebody out. And they had to send somebody out the next day because it was just like, y'all got caught. And even though Honor's right, they're like, oh, this one talks. This one tells the truth. This one will say too much. I'm just like, oh yeah, because I'm not going to be responsible for this, because first of all, I probably could have figured it out, but the simple fact of the matter is I could have turned on the grill and overcooked and burnt all that chicken, or undercooked it and got everybody sick. So get this. The general manager and the owner operator, or whatever you call you, they had to come in. And they had to come in on their day off. They was pissed. Dude came in with his kids. I was just like, you know what? I would love to be spending the weekend with my children. I really would. But you gonna come in. So like he came in and we all had to sit down. He was like, okay, so what's going on? I was just like, well, y'all are leaving your store unattended. And that's honestly job abandonment. Yeah, and y'all know that y'all don't have the proper staff in here to do the job. Okay, but y'all want to enjoy y'all weekend. And before we even started talking, I was just like, do you mind if I record this conversation? They were like, yeah. I was just like, okay, cool. Because I need to make sure that I have documentation, because y'all like to stretch the truth and say nothing happened. So I'm going to just make sure we got y'all. So I was so happy that I decided to record, and I got their permission to record, because homeboy started showing his real colors, and he stood up in my face, and he was just like he was towering over me, and he went to snatch my phone. I was like, dude, thank you for showing me exactly who you are, because I need to see you in real time. Like, that conversation got so yeah, like I was checking them left and right, and they weren't ready for it. In the most respectful way. I didn't use any profanity, any curse words. I was so proud of myself. I was like, you go, Honor. But like, they was so like floored that they were like, why didn't you come talk to us first? Like, why did you get HR involved, and why did you get these people involved? I was just like, because the last time that I worked for this company, y'all did some really, really unprofessional stuff. And I was just like, I need to make sure I get everything documented, and I have all the documentation, because I'm not playing with you this time. And I'm not going through it for a second time. So after that conversation, the next day, HR came in and sat down and talked with me. And I was like, before we even started, I was like, do you mind if I record this conversation? He was just like, well, why do you feel the need to record? But I was like, because I need to have everything documented. I need to have my own. This is basically me taking notes, so I have it later. He was just like, well, if you are going to record, this kind of dictates the kind of conversation we're going to have. I was like, well, what kind of conversation are we going to have? He was like, I don't know. You tell me. I was just like, well, I don't know what kind of conversation we're going to have. And I don't know how you're going to act. Just like I didn't know how they were going to act yesterday. And they got caught on recording acting a fool. So if you plan on doing that with me today, okay, I need to record and have that information. And I need your permission to record, so we have that. Your boy was not having the shit at all. I wasn't having it. And I learned a lot during that situation, because it was just like, all they're doing right now is saving face. Like I said, they don't care. They don't care, but they're going to hear me out, but they don't care. Dude was the most phoniest person that I could meet. Like, there was another gentleman in the conversation. He didn't smile in my face one time, but this dude smile in my face, and you could see through his smile. I'm like, dude, you fake as fuck. I'm like, dude. I'm like, we don't even, you know what? I'm gonna finish the conversation, but I don't feel. I'm like, I don't feel like you care. I don't feel heard. I feel like I'm wasting my breath at this point. I'm just like, yo. Ugh. So I worked my last couple of shifts, and then they scheduled me for the next week. But then he hit me in the email, and he was like, oh, so let's meet before your shift, probably at a Starbucks before you go in. And I was just like, and I hit him back. I was like, dude, if I have a job, great. If I don't have a job, great. Just make sure I have my check. And he was just like, oh, but we still need to have the conversation. I was like, dude, I'm not here for the games. If I have a job, great. If I do not have a job, great. Just let me know that, so you're not wasting my time. And he was just like, I'd still like to have the conversation. I'm like, we don't need to have any conversation. You just need to have my check ready. And he was just like, all right, well, you can pick it up at such and such date with your separation papers. I was like, thank you, sir. I don't need the job. I don't need the job. I wanted to work here again because I knew it well enough, but this is too much. what this experience taught me was, like, this is the food industry, okay? Which I was just like, it's not my ministry. You know, I did it for years, and it wasn't I did it for years, and I learned so much about just customer service and hospitality. I got that down to a science. Like, I'm probably the best person with the most experience who has that locked down, but I don't want to do it anymore. And even going into the entertainment industry, an industry where I would be probably willing to take more shit, the lesson that I learned here in the food industry is to never fold, never back down, and always stand up for yourself. It doesn't matter. Okay? I don't care how great the opportunity you think it is. People are going to always try to play you, and you never let them. Never fold. Even when you look at history, when people speak out, people get silenced. Okay? And that scares people, so they always stay silent. But if I can make an impact, or not even if, by me speaking out, making that impact and getting other people's attention, they can't take us all out. Okay? My life is not my own. You know, my purpose is here for whatever it is. Okay? Until God calls me home. So, like, even looking at history, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Nelson Mandela, everybody who was, you know, Dr. Sebi, like, all these people who were doing their very best to make a change in this world, all were people who were silenced, you know, and they tried to take these people out and, you know, stop them from waking up the people. Guess what? I'm one of those people, okay? And I'm always going to speak out, even if they try to take me out. I'm going to make that impact. Last thing I'm going to say is, you can't necessarily come out swinging and attacking, okay? You have to play the game in a certain way where you have your foot in the door, okay, to shake it up and put things back in order from the inside, okay? Because if they see you coming, they're going to take you out immediately. But if they don't view you as a threat, okay, and they don't see you, and they can't necessarily understand your impact, and they're like, oh, he's just another black kid, another R&B singer, you know, he's just another dancer, he's not going to really do nothing, he's not going to last for long. If they don't understand your impact, you have much more of an impact, okay? But if you put it clear in their face of what you're doing, they're going to take you out even a lot sooner. So you have to be creative to a certain extent to flow and get that message across to the people.